Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. Here's your host, Brien Hanley.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, Eyes and Odds, where the games that I am going to be watching this weekend and why, and also have a couple of plays for you as far as the betting goes. Man, it was a brutal week last week. I was 1-4. Ugh. Maybe that's a reason why I really don't bet, that I do it for fun. I go, so because that was ugly last week, but we're going to do better this week. Going to do a lot better this week. Look, you guys got to bear with me. I understand that I have my Louisville shirt on today, but you guys know, you know that you've been watching. I'm a diehard Louisville fan. That's where I'm from. And look, they got a big one coming up this weekend going to Notre Dame. So got to show some support for my squad so that I've rooted for literally my entire 48 years on this earth. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. Look, we're going to dive into this thing. But before we do, remember to like, follow, subscribe, and continue to leave those comments. And also hit the notification bell so you know exactly when Big 12 Insiders videos come out. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Let's dive in. So first things first. I mean, we got games this weekend, again, from 11 o'clock Central Time a.m. all the way to 9:15 or whenever the final game is going to start of the evening. So here's the first game that I'm going to be watching. Now, right off the bat, people, you got to get the quad view. Two games that I'm going to be watching at 11 a.m. First one, Oklahoma State goes to Manhattan, Kansas to take on Kansas State. This is a big game for both teams. Both of them have to get up off the mat. They both got smacked around last week. I know Oklahoma State fans are trying to hold on to that last 5 minutes. Look, come on, people. You watched the game. You got bullied for basically 3.5 quarters, more than 3.5 quarters. I mean, even halfway through the fourth quarter, you were getting bullied by Utah until they let off the gas. This is an opportunity for you to stand up on the road and make a statement here. Can you get the running game going? Does the coaching staff actually trust Alan Bowman? I mean, I know that seems crazy to even think that, but when you pull your quarterback, your starting quarterback for the last, or for the after a half, one bad half of football was enough for Mike Gundy to pull his starting quarterback. I have no idea what the meeting behind all that was. I'm still baffles me. You were down one score, and because of one bad half, you sit him down, didn't like it, and you can say, well, he played better when he got back in. The game was over by that time. Utah had let off the gas. It is what it is. But this is another opportunity for Oklahoma State to really stand up and show that their season can get back on track. As far as Kansas State is concerned, the same thing. Kansas State fans are continuously living on this. Oh, it was a fluky loss. A lot of fluky things happen. You got to stop that. You do. And you know me. I went to Kansas State. I love Kansas State. But you got to stop the fluky stuff, man. Fumbles happen. Interceptions happen. Give the other team the credit that they deserve. They created those things. You can say, well, it was a fortuitous bounce on a punt return. Okay, fine. But the defense also created those other turnovers. Kansas State's defense also had a chance to stop them. They didn't. You just got whipped. Let that go. This is another opportunity for you to stand up and say, hey, last week is what it is. This is a new week. We are still a contender in this Big 12 race. And to do that, you got to stand up this week because Oklahoma State's going to come in with a bad attitude. I think Kansas State is going to come in with a bad attitude. The difference for me, the game's in Manhattan. Yes, that is the difference. Look, it's a 5-point spread. Kansas State at home -5. I like it. I think Kansas State gets up off the mat, and because the game is in Manhattan, I think they cover and they go on to win this game. The loser will definitely be in trouble. It's not that they're out, but the loser's going to be in trouble to try to battle their way back into the race, especially the way that, tiebreakers are so convoluted in the Big 12. It's a nightmare. So, and your two losses are two of the teams that supposedly are going to be two of the top teams in the conference, and that'll be tough. If it's Oklahoma State, that'll be tough. Kansas State, same difference. 2 losses, I don't know. Moving on. Next game up, BYU at Baylor, literally at the exact same time. Now, the reason I like this game, and you got to get the quad view, like I mentioned, I want to see if BYU can keep this thing rolling. I want to see if they can handle success. You know what I'm saying? Can you handle success? Everybody's talking about how good you are, after last week's win. They were underrated. They're one of the better teams in the Big 12. Their defense is dominant. All these things that people are saying about you, go out and prove them right. That's my thing. Go prove them right. Don't let it just be what Kansas State fans have said. Hey, it was a fluke game. It is what it is. Because if you go to Baylor and you get beat, shouldn't we think that it's a fluke? Because you're supposed to be better than Baylor. Now, here's the thing. How is Baylor favored in this game? Vegas knows something. They always know something, man. How are they favored? Getting 3 points at home. Everybody gets 3 points at home. So basically they're saying this is a pick'em game? I don't know. I don't know. I like BYU in this one. I think it's wild. I don't know how Baylor gets up off the mat, to be honest with you. The way that they lost that game last week, I'm not sure. But I will say this. If they do, you'll know early whether Baylor is bought in or if they've just thrown in the towel, not only on this game, but on the season. You'll know early because I think BYU is going to come out and try to smack them right in the mouth and knock them out. And maybe Baylor lets that happen, or maybe they don't. That's why I want to watch this football game, because I want to see what happens. Will Baylor stand up after basically handing a game away last week? And can BYU handle success? I'm really interested in the latter. And can BYU handle success? I think they can. I like them. Give me the 3 points in this one. Ugh, I like that one. Next up, Colorado goes to UCF. Look, Colorado won last week. But Colorado, here's the first thing. Colorado's being humble. Lord have mercy. Have we ever heard in the last 2 seasons of Colorado being humble? And when I say that, all they keep talking about is how they won the game it was act of God. It was a prayer. It was a Hail Mary. God answered our prayer. That's all you've been hearing. You haven't heard, well, it was dominant and we dominated them and we made it happen. You didn't hear any of that. Good for them. Maybe there is a little bit of a culture being built. Maybe there is something to be said when, recognizing what's going on. Because I think that's what a lot of people have gotten tired of Colorado. It's like, look, you're not a good football team, but yet you talk like you're the best team in the country. Maybe being humble a little bit is okay, and people like to hear that. Having said all of that, they're not winning at UCF. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. Now, I don't know that I like the minus 14, but I'm not afraid of it. I can tell you that. I'm not afraid of it. But I like the high scoring. 61.5 is the over-under. I'm going over. I don't think that Colorado is going to be able to slow things down. Now, look, Colorado is definitely better against the run this year, but UCF is a different animal when it comes to running the football. So they're going to run the football, and I don't think Colorado is going to be able to stop them. I think UCF does wind sprints up and down the field. KJ Jefferson, just when you think they're going to run it, he's going to pull back, throw the ball over their head. This is going to be a high-scoring game. And if Colorado has any chance, they're going to have to score a lot of points. That's the whole thing. They're going to have to score a lot of points. So that's why the 61.5 for me, I like it. I think that one's easy money. I might even double up because I think this one gets away from Colorado. I really do. I like UCF. I wasn't high on them to begin the season, or even before the season started. I watched them. I think they're better. We don't know that much because I don't know that their competition level has been that high because, again, I don't know what TCU is all about, so we'll see. Having said all of that, I just like UCF in this game. But give me the over 61.5. Next up, real intriguing game. Cincinnati at Texas Tech. Look, I think I got the Cincinnati fans off of me a little bit. I think I did because they are not the worst team in the conference, not even by a long shot. Look, let's just be honest. And that was probably me and my bias towards Scott Satterfield. I can admit that. I don't think he's that great of a coach. I think Cincinnati can do better, but this is what you got. Well, okay. Maybe they can put it together, but I know that Cincinnati's got an opportunity to win on the road here. And this might be the breakthrough win that they need. You look at their schedule moving forward, they can navigate this thing to get to a bowl game. I see that, but I think they got to win this football game. And if they do, good things might be on the horizon for the Cincinnati Bearcats. On the flip side, Texas Tech. Now, again, this game is on ESPN2 at 7 p.m. Look, Texas Tech it looks like they've woken up. That's a better win than what people want to give them credit for last week against Arizona State. I think Arizona State's a good football team. And you talk about looking at a schedule and looking ahead, Texas Tech got an opportunity. They win this game. You go look at their schedule. You talk about navigating some stuff. They got two tough ones at Oklahoma State and at Iowa State. But if they can win this, they've got an opportunity over the next 3 or 4 weeks to put themselves in a real good position to try to get to Arlington. They got to still win some tough games on the road. I understand. I'm just saying, if Texas Tech can get by this one, I mean, who knows? This conference is going to be crazy anyway. We all know that. But it's -3.5 Tech at home. Give me Tech. Give me Tech. I think the game will be close. I really do. I think Cincinnati may have found a little something, but I think the game will be close. But I think Tech covers. I do believe that they cover. And then the last game of the night, Arizona at Utah. Now, look, you don't know who's going to play at quarterback. We thought we knew who Utah was going to play at quarterback last week. That didn't happen. So we don't know until Cam Rising steps on the field and takes a snap. I'm not going to expect that he's playing. I'm just not. When he actually plays, that's when I'll say he's playing. Having said that, Utah ran the football on the road last week, ran for 249 yards. They basically just pounded it right down the throat of Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma State couldn't do anything about it. 2 weeks ago, I watched Kansas State do pretty much the same thing to Arizona. I don't expect anything to be different. Now, I will say this. There's some bad blood here. You know, Utah had dominated this series. Arizona gets an opportunity to win last year, and they do. And they whipped them. Let's just call it what it is. They whipped them. It was 35-18. And then at the end of the game, I think we all remember, and Big 12 fans, if you don't, you might do a little research on this. Arizona throws a touchdown pass, a 51-yard touchdown pass with, I think it was, what was it, like 36 seconds to go in the game. I'm like, what are we doing here? I saw it that's bad blood running up the score. Game was over, and that's what you do. And I don't want to hear anything from Arizona fans saying that you didn't try to run up the score. You 1,000% did, because Utah had dominated the series. Would they win like 8 games in a row or something like that? So, yes, you tried to run up. Not tried. You did run up the score on them when you got an opportunity. And there's going to be people out there that say, hey, it's your job to stop them. I agree. I don't know that this one doesn't get ugly. I just know now Arizona had a bye week. Maybe they fixed that run defense. If they have, maybe this game will be closer. It's -8. I like Utah, but I like Utah big. I like Utah to get aggressive. I like for them to get after the quarterback. I like for them to shut down the passing game. Arizona doesn't really want to run it. Well, I take that back. They did the first 2 games against Kansas State. They didn't really want to run it, but they couldn't run it because Kansas State took it away. I think this one gets away from them. I think Utah, again, has a bad taste in their mouth from last year, and I think they smack around Arizona. So those are the games that I got. I'll cover them again. Oklahoma State, Kansas State, again, that is on ESPN. That's at 11 a.m. BYU at Baylor, that game also at 11 a.m. That was on FS1. Make sure you tune in. If you got quad view, let it work for you. Next game, Colorado at UCF. That one's on Fox. That's at 2:30. Again, these are all Central times. Then Cincinnati, Texas Tech, ESPN2. That one comes on at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. And then last game of the night, late night football, Arizona at Utah. It says 9:15, but you know how that works depending on what the other games that are on, because there's a big one on. Was it Georgia and Alabama are playing? So whenever that goes off, it'll be on right after that. So that's what I'm watching this weekend. I like the intrigue. I know there's a couple of other games that are on, but I'm not watching. I'm not watching TCU KU. I'm sorry. I'm not watching that game. And I'm not watching Iowa State and Houston. I'm sorry, Houston. Iowa State's going to go in there and whip you. It is what it is. So those are the games that I'm watching. Last week, man, y'all gave me some ideas on food. I need you all to get in the comments and tell me what I need to eat for Saturday. What tailgate, because I'm going to be at home, so I call it my home tailgate. What foods do I need? Last week, I said pizza and wings, and it was okay. I need something else. I need something crazy, something original, something that everybody's not doing, and I'll cook. So if it's something that, hey, you got to grill it. Now, I'm not going to get out there and do a 14-hour smoker and do it overnight. Come on, people. I'm not doing that. I go, but something else. So let me know what kind of food I should be eating. Make sure you guys leave it in the comments. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Our channel has been growing, and it's all because of you. It literally is all because of you. It's grown a lot over the last, I would say, 20 days. Football is here. You guys have really been engaged, so I appreciate it. You've been encouraging me to do more and to keep it up. This is brand new to me. I'm not a journalist. I'm a football fan, and this channel is a fan channel by a fan. Yes, I'm a former player, but I am a fan. That was 30 years ago, people. I am an absolute college football fan. So I appreciate you guys being in here. Love you guys, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. This has been a Spirit Street production.